Hey everyone, I'm Professor Simon. I'll be covering your class today. I believe it's a Brent Parry you usually have. Yeah, well he's not in, he's got can't be bothered to teach either, so unfortunately I will be taking over the class today. Firstly, I'm going to ask you all to put your phones away because every single one of you seems to be on your phone. Thank you very much. Right, without further ado, I'm going to take the register because you know me, I'd like to know all of you guys. So we've got Stevie, yep, Matt, Molly, Emma, Kira, and John. Absolutely brilliant. Right, nice to meet you. Like I said, I'm Professor Simon, and this is my assistant Shannon. Everyone say hello to Shannon. Yeah, so now that you know who I am and you know who Shannon is, we are going to get straight on into this presentation. Here, we've got a question to explain the influence of rock structure and lithology on the coastal landscape. So for me, what I like to do is I like to very briefly underline all the keywords, just so that we understand what this question is asking us. So, influence is just another word for impact. Don't need to overcomplicate it, it's simple as that. We've also got rock structure, very key, important keyword, before I underline it. And we've also got lithology, the characteristics of rock, the general characteristics. And we've also got coastal landscape, the area surrounding the coast. So what does this question mean, you may wonder? Well, to put it brief, to explain the impact the rock has on the coast. Right, so we're just going to recap the basics of rock so that we're all on the same page, okay? So we've got hard rocks and soft rock coasts. Two different types of rock coasts. We'll be having a little look at some case studies for the both. Hard rocks are often rocks like chalk in limestone and sandstone. And soft rocks are often things like clay and sand, quite easy to understand the concept of. We have also got permeable rocks. Permeable rocks can absorb water, and impermeable rocks struggle to absorb water. And we've also got porosity, which measures the percentage of air inside the rock. Kind of like if SpongeBob was a rock.
Not being funny or anything, Professor, but what does rock types got to do with this?
Well, everything, Matt. Well, yes, Stevie is right. See, a coast structure and lithology really does impact everything in its surrounding environment. Which brings us on to the next case study, the Holderness Coast and its battles with erosion. Now, the Holderness Coast is situated in the northeast of England, just this little bit here, as we can see what the pinpoint is. 2 meters of the Holderness Coast is eroded every single year. Doesn't seem like a lot. 2 meters is quite a long distance. So 32 meters dating back to the Roman times if it's swept away into the sea because of this soft rock known as boulder clay. Now, boulder clay erodes much quicker than the chalk does, and the chalk is a hard rock, so hence why it's more resilient here, and the boulder clay is rapidly eroding. Right. It is a discordant coast, so we're going to see discordant coastal features, hence why at the top at Flamborough Head we've got things like arches, stacks and stubs. And underneath all this boulder clay, all this glacial till, lies a bed of chalk. Here is a feature, it's a stack located at Flamborough Head as previously mentioned. As you can see, all the other side of it's been eroded, leaving the strong, resilient chalk left. We have also got other features like the wave cut platform, again the stack, and we've also got the head, all erosional features of chalk on the discordant coastline. Now, if we move over from chalk at Holderness Coast and move over all the way down to the Devon coast, Devon has also got a variety of geology there. We've got sandstones, we've got limestones, shales, slates, and volcanic rock. You're probably wondering why volcanic rock's there. Well, if you can see here, we've got Stickle Path fault line. This fault line dates back millions and millions of years ago and was meant to be smack bang in the middle of Devon, right? So with this fault line being here, or it's considered to be a wrench, we don't quite know. The magma had risen and then it cooled a little bit to create granite, a really strong, powerful, compressed rock. Now most of its coast is made out of all these different ones. In East Devon we can see things like sandstone and chalk. And we could also see loads of different rock types here, which makes it so diverse, so varietised. We've also got this stretch of coast at North Devon made out of sandstone and slate, which has given us this funky red and green and grey colours. And also one of my favourite places, just off the west of Branscombe, which is in East Devon, we've got quite a large variety of chalk and sandstone and limestone all floating around in these cliffs. So now I know you're all probably fed up of me waffling, and I honestly don't quite blame you, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you over to my good friend Margaret the meteorologist. Listen closely, or should I say, listen closely.
Good morning, Britain. Today I'm going to be informing you of the latest weather events. To begin with, we have an area of low pressure named Storm Sandy by the Met Office, which is expected to move northeasterly along the UK. Its first point of call will be Devon tomorrow morning, with wind speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. We can expect to see deadly landslides, uprooting of trees, causing mass flooding, and at most the loss of life. So it's advised you remain cautious and avoid leaving your house where possible. Later on during the day, Storm Sandy continues to move along the UK. It will hit the Holderness coast with wind speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, meaning we can also expect to see rapid erosion, devastating landslides, loss of property, and again, the loss of life. It is highly advised that those within the area evacuate from the coast. Shortly after Sandy's trip to the northeast coast, she will dissipate around the early hours of Wednesday morning. And to summarise, Devon is advised not to go out and avoid the cliffs where possible. Residents along the Holderness coast, specifically Mappleton and Hornsea, will be evacuated immediately. I am Margaret Humphrey, and this is BTS Weather. Have a good day. Okay, well, what has Storm Sandy got to do with anything?
Well, Molly, Margaret mentioned that the Holderness coast would be much more affected as a result of Storm Sandy because most of its rock is made out of boulder clay. And the boulder clay is one of the most porous sediments that there is, which makes it much easier for wind, waves and rain to break its way through the clay and causing it to drop away from the cliff. Although chalk is very similar, it is much more resistant, making Devon's cliffs much more stronger and sturdier to withstand Storm Sandy's power. So what I can now show you though is the impacts it has on 4 key factors. Here we've got the geology and the impacts of the Holderness coast. As we can see, socially it affects loads of people. Imagine being chucked up in your bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to find out your house is falling off a cliff. Quite scary. This could be physiologically damaging. You could get a broken bone if you fell off a cliff, or if not worse, death. And you could also get psychological damage because it would be traumatic if you saw your neighbour's house go bye-bye down a cliff. Economically, now the thing with the economics is obviously if your shops and your businesses are going down the drain or the seabed, what we can expect is to see a loss of business, a loss of income. People are going to go without jobs. And it's also another problem with economics, and this also ties in with the political aspects of it. It's the coastal management strategies like the groins and the rock armour. People want them in particular places and farmers want them protecting their places, which creates an argument and a problem in a community. But they also have to take into account the economical side of it, the amount of money that has to be spent onto these coastal strategies. And we've also got flora and fauna, which is plants and animals if you're not aware. Flora and fauna, their ecosystems, their habitats can also go plummeting down into the cliff, so it's not a win-win for anyone really. Similarly, we've also got Devon, the economic, environmental and political aspects of it, so socially, pretty much the same principle, except Devon's chalk is quite easy to slide off, creating landslides and mass movement, which again could destroy houses, businesses, and can create physiological damage and also psychological damage. We've also got the economic aspects. This is the exact same as the Holderness coast, except it's a little bit more affordable because all you have to do is put some nets upon the coast to prevent the rocks from crumbling down. We've also got, again, the environmental impacts. The flora and fauna are greatly affected, not as much as they would be at the Holderness coast, but when they're affected big time. And again, political, there's all the argument of where should these coastal strategies be put? Should there be signs in particular places to help the people? So that is pretty much a conclusion of today's lesson. Now, I know I rambled quite a bit and I'm curious to see how much you have learned today. So I'm going to pass you over to my assistant who's going to perform you a little song just to summarise what we've been through. Take it away, Shannon.